Okay, let's talk about how to create a box plot and figure out if they're outliers. And it's a nice graph just kind of see the range of data we have, the interquartile range as well as the quarters on both ends. But the first thing we need to do in order, if we're doing this by hand, is to order the data so we can find the 5-number summary, which will be the minimum, which is going to be easy, then the max, also easy, Q1, median, Q3. Okay, so let's order up the data here. The smallest here appears to be, let me get on the right, 16. Okay, so we've got, get a pen here. 16 and then 19, 24, just making sure I get all the data here. I'm gonna have to write smaller. That's a 40, 40, 42, 45, 45, 46. Oh dear. Let's see if I can get some more room here. 46, 49. There's two 46s appears. 49 and 73. All right, let's see how many. Let's just double check that we have the right amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right, I'm going to make sure there's 21 up above. So, yep, 21 complete seasons, it says. Okay, so obviously 16 is the min. The max is 73. And then the midway, so if there's 21, 10 on each side would be the mid. So let's go to number 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the second 34, that's going to be our median. Well, now there's 10 on each side. So to find Q1, I'm going to have to do that. The average of the middle two numbers. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, between 25 and 26. So that'll be 25.5. That's going to be Q1. And then let's do the same on the right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So between 42 and 40, no, wait a second. Oh, shoot, the median, I know what I did. The median is the second 34, not the first. So that is the median here. Let me just box it so I don't confuse myself. So that's the median. There we go. And then, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Between 5 and 6 here is the is Q and 3. Between 5 and 6 away from the median on the right side. So Q3, well, the average of 45 plus 45 divided by 2 is still going to be 45. All right, so that's all the pieces I need for that I'll need for the box plot, except I've got to first determine if there are any outliers. Because if there are any outliers, those are going to be starred, and they're not going to be part of my my whiskers that go away from the box. So I'll show you here. First, to figure out if there are any outliers, well, the IQR here is equal to Q3 minus Q1. So the IQR here is 19.5. So to figure out if there are any lower outliers, I'm going to do Q1 minus 1.5 times my IQR. And that gives me negative 3.75. Well, clearly there's no values less than that. So there's no lower outliers. To figure out if there are upper outliers, I do the Q3 plus 1.5 times my IQR. And this equals 74.25. And I have no values above that. So I had thought that 73 might be an outlier, but it is not. So we have no outliers. So when we do our box plot, the whiskers are going to extend out that way. So let's, all the way out to the last data point. So let's go to the next page, and we're going to create this box and whisker plot. Let's just try to remember our various statistics that we'll need. Okay, so I think it's down to number 14 that you're going to have to calculate it. So I'm going to, on the bottom here, put my scale, and I'm just going to go up by 10, kind of like the dot plot did. 70, 80. All right, now the first thing, my min is going to be part of it because it's not an outlier. So my min, when I go back, my min was 16. So let's just put a little dot there for now, about here. And then my max is 73, so I'm going to put another dot there. And so those are going to be the end of my whiskers, but let's create the middle, the box. So the very middle of the box is the median, which is 34. So we've got about here. So that's going to be my median. And then the box is going to extend to the left to my Q1, which is 25.5. So that's going to be one part of my box. And then, and notice the line's going to divide the box, which really is a rectangle, into two separate parts. And then the Q3 is 45. So let's go there. So there's this here is my middle half of the data, right? So this is my median, here's my Q3, here's my Q1, and the whiskers extend out to the max and the min. So the whiskers here are representing if you put them together, it's the outer half of the data. So the middle half of the data, it seems relatively symmetric. However, the whisker to the right is much longer than the whisker to the left, so which kind of confirms that the data, because of that high score of 73 home runs, is skewed a bit to the right here. Okay, so that is your box and whisker plot. And if there were outliers, so say, I just want to show you this, say 73 had been an outlier. Well, we'd put a star there if that were the case, and then the whisker would extend to the next highest value that wasn't an outlier. So in this case, if we go back to our data, that would have been 49, which would definitely have changed this graph. So again, if 73 had been an outlier, we would have put a star there, and the whisker would not extend all the way there. Instead, it would extend to the next highest value, in which case would be 49. So that whisker would be much shorter had there been an outlier. And then you'd do the same if there were any outliers on the min side or on the low side. Anything that's an outlier is starred, and then your whisker extends to the lowest that's not an outlier, or the highest that's not an outlier, depending on what side you're on.